Immigration reform, the need for immigration reform. Yes, it's time that we have an Immigration Reform Act result of the 2013 legislature of the United States. The 435 representatives, the 100 senators, we hope that they work together and that they actually cause to be signed into law an act called the 2013 Immigration Reform Act. We need that terribly. Why? Because there's $1 billion in just one county, $1.3 billion. Maricopa County, Arizona, is a county where they have put for 20 years, one sheriff has put people into pink uniforms as they go into prison. This is an intimidation factor, and it's part of the disgraceful inter-prison detention process. We need that to be made accountable. The rights of people who have not have come to this country and lived here, paid taxes here, need justice and a right to live and walk on the streets. If they've not gone in front of a judge, it is time for this country to stop incarcerating humans just because it makes money for the detention center or for the people that work in the prisons. The salaries need to be paid, yes, but the hurting of families, the splitting of families.
I have a question. When you say the splitting of families, can you explain what is the process when you say that?
Yes. My mechanic, for instance, has been apart from his children now going on 19 months. He was first put in a federal prison, a federal facility. Then, after serving 7.5 months, he was found absolutely free to walk and had no special requirements. Yes, he still was in the country without a visa that was current. Yes, he did have that condition. But he got out, was let go free, and he was on the street, and because of this color of his skin, a little bit brown, not black, brown, he was frisked and asked, "Can you show me your identity, your papers?" And shortly, the Homeland Security officers were there. They put him into a facility in Pearsall, Texas, the Geo Detention Center. There, I found the necessity to enter the immigration court inside the Geo Detention Center. Not only is that offensive to have a person that is proven free in federal court to then be picked up, frisked, and arrested, put through the works, and ends up with a $33,000 bond, separated from his family, could not provide for the children. Three United States citizens that had no father there to put a little bit of money into the kitty so that food was, and paper and pencils and school work was. As a friend of the court, I was there and I spoke to the immigration judge. I asked for leniency. In fact, I reached in my pocket for $500 at the last minute so that an attorney Mr. Steve O'Connor would be able to step into the court at the next session. Mr. O'Connor found a way for the father to walk free, but he had to get onto a bus and be taken across the border into another country where he was let free, and since then he has not been able to pay the fees and cross the border with a visa to come back into the country. So the children are in the United States going to school every day, and their family is having to pick up the requirement. There are thousands, absolutely tens of thousands of youth that are done this way, and in 20 years, I, as a psychotherapist licensed in the state of Texas, am here to tell you that my efforts as a certified mediator and licensed marriage and family therapist did not overcome the harm and injury to the children. This separation of mother and father and taking care of the children by that family. Thomas Jefferson said in 1803 and far before that, that this is a country where the children are raised by the parents. The government has no part in it. And so when a government makes a decision about jumping in, when a government comes in and makes a decision that the children will either have to go into a home care facility or the children will have to stay with an aunt or an uncle or a cousin or somebody, that means that the government is interfering with family life. Thomas Jefferson said this is a country of immigrants, and we're going to raise our children together as a community. And they have not yet gotten the Senate Act into their hands as a full thing that they will revise and change, because the senators have yet to pass the bill from the Senate and send it to the House of Representatives. There's a need, very strong need, for this life to continue, the life of a bill. It needs just a majority to pass it in the Senate. If the Vice President has to vote to be that part of the majority, so be it. It needs to happen. We need to quit abusing children. If we don't have it and 11 million people have to be deported, that means that about $125 billion of injury will take place. I have calculated, it's psychological injuries that I'm talking about. You separate children from parents and cause the parents to live in one country or a parent to live in another country. I have been there when a U.S. citizen, a mother of 3 U.S. citizens that lived in Guadalajara, Mexico. I was there. She squeezed me orange juice with the power of her arms. You mix these 5 kinds of fruits and make me a Vitabill. I loved it. But you know what? This lady had to be a tough mama. She had to turn it out, because if she didn't do it, her and her children and her husband, who was also working, they worked very hard to have an income in Guadalajara. That life for those immigrants, that immigrant, mama and daddy lived in that country. The children went to third world schools because of a United States law that is discriminatory, ugly, intimidating and just personally detestable to me. I detest seeing that. I tell you that we really need a concerted effort to remove this hateful part of our daily discussion. We need to get past it, and it needs to be possible for life to continue for these young people here standing in front of the Capitol building. It is a pleasure to be here and talk to you and ask you, please talk to your legislator. Please talk to your legislator. If you're sitting in the office of House of Representatives, if you're sitting in the office of the United States Senate, please vote affirmatively for the immigration reform bill to pass from the Senate and the House of Representatives. We need for each house of the legislature to pass it into law and send it to the president for a signature. I beg you, please stop the injury of children, the billion-dollar injury of children. Thank you. We're working at it very hard today. I tell you, there's a need for immigration reform. The 435 representatives, they're legislators. Dialoguemakers.org, and you click on harm to children. It's on the website. We're there. We're here with you, and if you'd like to have a copy of the friend of court brief that went in front of Judge Silver in Phoenix, Arizona, a U.S. District Court judge, it's available. It's right there on the web. You can download it. You can argue with me all you want, but let's get into a dialogue. That's why dialoguemakers.org exists, is so that we have a dialogue.